late. The show went well. It was super fun. And give me 1 second. Oh. Okay, we're good. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to exercise class. Saturday morning exercise class. Oh yeah, Cassie's baby, which is super cute. Let's start breathing. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, shake, shake, shake. Let go of any extra tension in your body. Let's just huff and puff with some shaking for a few breaths. Oh yeah, so before the people that are in TV land, I was saying to my Zoom room, like, what do you guys want to do today? And somebody said, energy. So this shaking is a great way of releasing stuck energy and allowing new energy to come in and through, shaking out the old and crusty and inviting in the fresh and nourishing. Try to get your face to also relax. Tongue, cheeks, eyeballs, all of it. Let it go. Good shaking. This is also going to stimulate your lymphatic, especially if you have a nice bounce going. And it's also going to help with your bone density. Anytime we're giving our body this kind of bounce, it's like there's a rebound, which is going to give us a down and an up in our body. Jumping, great for you. Now let's switch it to the spirals. Again, great for your lymphatic fluids to get moving. Breathing. So if you're not like in the let's build some energy mode, if you're more in the like I need to calm down mode, feel free to take this class slower, really do what you need to do. Always be free to make your own decisions about how you're moving. I feel like this is, if we were taught like that bodily autonomy early, where we really had the choice, that would be very healthy for people. All right, let's go to open up into the X. And in the X, we're just going to find this diagonal, finding that relationship from your foot to your hand, just letting yourself weight shift. And like you can come in and out, hit the floor, finding that diagonal through your body. And then the other side, same thing, finding this diagonal, letting yourself weight shift, coming in and out, waking up your fingers and your feet and this weight shifting relationship, and also this inner line of energy, cross body contralateral movement, great for our brains, cross body movement. Let's just keep going with that, crossing, big stretch from side to side, like big weight shift. Like I could do it kind of small and gimpy, or I can go big, really open it up. Reaching out into our kinesphere to get that energy, right? I can get big. And as I'm getting big and as I'm radiating out there, opening up the fascia and moving. And let's take it to the back, touching behind you. You can turn your head or not. Breathing into it. Feeling the relationship of the arms through the rotator cuff into the torso, and then touching in the back with the leg. And then let's come down the center. We're going to do, I'll show you sideways. We're going to do arch, 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 and then roll up, curl, 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 curl. Stick out your butt, open your chest, arch, 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 curl, 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 curl. So it's kind of like a rolling cat-cow. Big spinal movement. Let your scapula move on your back. Not necessarily going for your biggest hamstring stretch right now, but just trying to get this movement through the spine. Couple more times. Creating space in our spinal cord. So we have room for the cerebral spinal fluid to move easily through. And then we're going to do a head to foot. So from your head initiating, head goes forward, and then you ripple through your spine. Head is initiating, rippling through. Think of lengthening as it's all happening. It's really funny. In the movement community, like the online people, this is one of the things they're really into. I always just want, like, I just want to see them actually dancing. They're doing all this movement. It's like dancing, and yet it's still very objectified. All right, then we're going to do it from the bottom up, knees to head. Dancing can be very objectified too, like where this is what I'm doing to my body needs to do it like this. But we can also be participatory. Instead of pushing something into our body, we can be feeling into something, as opposed to forcing ourselves, judging ourselves. We can be like, oh, what's this like? Curious about it, instead of shoving in. Inquiry practice. Let's go head with a little Axl Rose moment. Old Axl Rose or young Axl Rose. I'm not sure if he still does this. Stevie Wonder also has that kind of spinal movement. And then take it all the way down, shift from side to side, let it go. Relax your shoulders, relax your neck, relax your head. Take off the backpack of responsibility for other people's crap, and maybe even the backpack of responsibility for your own crap. Just let it all fall away. Just for this little while, allow yourself to be in the experience of being a moving body. And then come in and let's bend and straighten. So hands inside of your feet, bending your knees over your toes, and then stretching up. Bending, plie, and then reach your tail to the ceiling. Knees over your toes and press it up. Knees over your toes. Press, plie, and press, and plie. And we're going to change the movement. You're going to go over to one leg, open the arm up, look up, circles with the hand on top, like you're massaging the air, change direction, but really you're massaging the tissue inside of your forearm, letting that go all the way down into your rotator cuff. And then take it over to the other side, reach your hand up. You could always use a block here also, or hold up higher. I'm not trying to go for my deepest stretch here. I'm trying to go for a bigger twist and spiraling that hand on top. Change direction. Bring it back in. Let's do a couple more plies. Plie, tail up, plie, tail up. Bend your knees, stretch, bend, stretch. And then we're going to go halfway down. Your feet are fairly wide and parallel. Halfway down and just shift forward and backward. So my head is reaching forward, my tail is reaching backward. Forward and backward, forward and backward. So this is actually on its way into a squat on the floor, right? If you have access to that, you can go down into the squat, or you can just hang out there. Yeah. And then come up, and let's just roll it up from here, rolling up through your spine, all the way up to the top. Couple more things, standing, and then we'll get down on the ground. First thing, interlacing your hands behind your back, opening your chest. You can keep your head on top and look from side to side, if that feels okay. You can also let your head drop back. I wouldn't do a whole lot of movement dropping back, but you could do a little bit of movement. And then keeping your hands clasped, if possible, you're going to circle your shoulders. Circling, mobilizing. Change the hand so the non-dominant hand is on top and circle forward. Or the other way, whichever way you weren't circling yet. Let it go. Little gentle shake, gentle bounce, letting any tension melt out of your body. If you have a way that you always bounce, shaking, see if you can change it a little. right? We tend to have patterns that we go into. And if we want to change things, we got to start adapting our patterns and adding and subtracting and shifting them around. So freedom to change the pattern a little bit. Find your kinesphere, your realm of potential movement all around your body. Shake off and shake out whatever you don't need to be holding on to, whatever tension, whatever judgment, whatever old crappy thoughts that aren't serving you, let them all go. Reject them. I don't need it. Good. And then take it down to the floor. I'm gonna blow my nose. Let's go onto our butts. We're going to do a little bit of mobility for the hips. Onto our buttocks. Our buttocks, not our Botox. Hold on. There we go. I get weird about like framing. It's like, oh, it looks too weird. But then again, it's going to be imperfect. So let's accept that. All right, onto your butt. Rolling from side to side, massaging out your hips. Take your time. Feel into it, releasing. Oh, somebody's out there talking. It sounds like the squeaker. Oh, yeah, just letting yourself massage. So I'm really kind of curled into this so that I can get the weight of my body right into different parts of my glutes and rotators. And then I can also just go down there and like mobilize myself so that I get some shear when the muscles are doing this, as opposed to just being rolled around. Sheer force. One side, the other side. Yeah, I'm a little janky today because we were performing last night and then we stayed up really late. So here we're going to lift up that back leg. You're going to spiral around, twist, pick up the back leg. Spiral, you can add the big arms, pick up the back leg. Of course, I'm wearing a dark color. If I turn it around this way, you'll probably see better. Spiraling, twist, open it out. Spiraling. And when I say pick up the back leg, my knee is still on the floor. I'm doing this. Opening it up and around. That's the action. Do it a couple times if you want, just to feel, get that internal rotation. Open, open, open. Find that. I remember 1,000 years ago, I think I was taking an Eric Hawkins dance class and everybody was in this position and like lifting up that back leg. And I was like, it didn't move, totally jammed up there. Now I move it a little bit. Okay, we're going to come to the first side and we're going to just drop down. Dip your head into the water, lengthen your spine, come all the way up, spiral open, 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 head curls down to the floor, rounding your spine, lengthen out, scoop, and lap up the water. Open, open, open. Head curls to come down, reach it out, dolphining out and up. Paint the rainbow, take it down, through, open, open, down, through, open, open, down, and through, open. Squeaky Deeks, come here. Last one. And we're going to change it. So now, costume adjustment. Let's bring the foot forward and take it into a little arch. Come down, switch the other side, the other foot comes forward, little opening arch. Go as slow or as fast as you want to go. See if you can ride the space, right? So I'm reaching around, painting the edge of my kinesphere with my hand, and then sweeping the other one out, right? Inhaling, open, chest, lungs, heart. Exhale, across. Inhale, exhale. And I'm letting my head just kind of drop. I'm not putting a lot of effort into doing anything extra. It just naturally is kind of dropping and going back. Good, enough of that. Let's take it down to the floor. And just to really make sure that we're releasing the back of our hips and the lower back, knee drops from side to side. So sometimes we feel disconnected in our bodies, but in reality, our bodies are totally connected. There may be sort of energetic blockages in there or sort of stagnations. So movement can help move that, whatever's kind of stagnating, right? The running river is not stagnant. It's very alive and vibrant, right? If you want to take your foot across a little deeper, you can. Oh my goodness, my one cat is just singing like a full choir all by himself in the kitchen. I might have to go grab him. Keep spiraling. What are you doing? What's going on? He just wants someone to play with him. I went to him and he just looked at me and then shot off like a cork out of a champagne bottle. Like, anyway, we'll see. Maybe he'll come charging through. Let's take it down onto our backs. Hands down by your sides, legs up in the air, big circles with your legs, or small circles, any size that feels good to you. I think I'm going to stay pointed for 3 or 4, and then I'm going to be flexed, changing to flex. So you could change pointing and flexing or leave them, but bring some awareness to your feet. And you can also, if you want to, take your hands behind your head for this, or just drop your head down to the floor. I'm going to change direction, coming up, and I'm going to change the pattern. I'm going to flex out and then point down. Flexing out, pointing down, using your breath. I'm like dropping bits of dust and stuff on myself from my socks. Feels really good. Last 2. Last 1. Open your feet wider than your sticky mat. Internally rotate 1 leg at a time. Find that diagonal through your body. Twisting. All of this twisting is great for our internal organs also. Like, it requires them to slide against each other. And in our bodies, we also want it's not like they're sliding against each other and they're going to fall out, right? There's the mesentery, which is the sort of like a sea fan that's connecting all of the intestines to the back of your body. So that even if you know that sausage image that's from like the cartoons about sausages falling out of people's guts, that's not real. Your mesentery is holding your guts in. The whole thing's kind of vacuum packed in there. There's like a pressure system in your body that keeps it together. Also, like, if we think about lowering our blood pressure, like, the blood pressure is it's what's the force on the walls of your veins and your arteries. Like, the blood pressure is what's pushing on the walls outward, right? And it's shooting through. So if we want to lower our blood pressure, we can just slow down our exhales, right? Which we're going to do right now. We're going to just do a little play with the arms, which is going to be a theta breath. And then you can conduct the oceanic orchestra. I'm actually not even doing theta. Let's do this other breath. It's a little bit more pressure. So it's like theta, but you're letting your mouth have some freedom. So it's like sha, sa, and it's changing and shifting, right? When we start to add these changing and shifting patterns, we become a little more open on the inside because we're not clinging onto our being the way that we think we are, right? We're giving some spaciousness to being possibly more expansive. So playing with your scapula pinky connection, collarbone, scapula, hand, this whole lung meridian coming down, I guess above your arm to your thumb, waking that up with these breaths and the arms. So big or orchestral maneuvers on the mat. Deep breath. Maybe your spine gets into that, maybe the whole head-tail connection. So anytime we work on that extended exhale, especially if we weren't actually moving, then we would really down regulate. That would slow down our heartbeat, right? Slow down the force of everything moving through us into more of a ha, right? We get a nice easy hum. I feel like it's really good to think about these things. We aren't taught to feel the blood flow and then to feel it relaxing, right? To feel the calming of our parasympathetic nervous system, rest and digest, soothe and settle, really coming online. Although this was energy building class, so that would be more on the sympathetic activated side. We're doing both. And I feel like this kind of work, we're expanding our capacity to be at both ends so that when we go parasympathetic, we can be much deeper and broader. And when we go upregulated, we can also open that out and have some height and volume before we get disharmonious. We can stay in a harmonic upregulation where the energy isn't making us feel bad. It's making us feel alive and awake. Hands behind your head. One elbow in, one out. Going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, really reaching 19, 20. Take it down, drop your head, turn it from side to side, wake up your whole head tail connection, free up your spine, free up the ribs and lungs. Especially if you've learned how to control them and contain them, give them some mobility, give them some freedom. If you want to control people, control their bodies. If you want free people, let them have real access to freedom within their bodies, right? Or teach them how to find improvisational moments. Be comfortable with not knowing exactly what's going on. Being able to deal with the what is. Arms out, side, side, knees up to the ceiling, dropping your knees to one side and then over to the other. Breathing. If you want to do this with straight legs, go for it. If you want to bend your knees more, go for it. Listen to your own body. And if you aren't sure, try them all out and feel into it. Like, does this feel good? Or do I feel like I'm really working when it feels good? Or do I feel like, oh my God, this is just too much? Like, listen in. There's a lot of ways that you might feel in there. Good, and come in. And let's press up, just pressing up the pelvis, circles with your hips. My feet are fairly wide and I'm going to go for big circles. We've done a lot, so my hamstrings are not totally cold. They're warm. My back body has done some work already. So moving with that. And I know that there she is, the pea pod. Other direction, changing it around. Feel what your head wants to do as you're making those circles. My head is kind of going in opposition. There's kind of this infinity thing going on. Head going one way, pelvis going the other. And then come up as high as you can. Interlace your hands behind your butt. You can walk your shoulders close together. If you can't interlace, it's fine. Just push the floor away. We're going to inhale, knees open. Exhale, closed. Inhale, open. Exhale, closed. Inhale, exhale. Use your breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Relax and come down. I'm going to add another layer to that because I feel like it's something we never talk about. So what I'm going to suggest is, how would this go? Yeah, when we're closing in, I want you to like engage your pelvic floor. When we're opening out, really relax it, right? So much is like, pull it up, pull it in, but where's the relaxing? We need both sides of that to be really good. So pelvic floor on the internal rotation, it's almost like we do a little mula bandha, but then the external rotation, we actually release and maybe even like arch, like get that satisfaction position. So up, when you go in, you can do this with your hands behind or not, doesn't matter. Engage, and then as you go out, kind of like push out. In, pelvic floor in and up. Exhale, down and out. Not in an uncomfortable way, not like you're trying to pee, but just like you're relaxing that energy. Energy's coming in and up. Energy's going down and out. In and up, down and out. In and up, down and out. Last one, in and up, down and out. And then a happy baby. And release. You could play around in your happy baby with engaging your pelvic floor and then releasing it and just feel what's going on. It's so funny how there are these things, like there are systems within our body that it feels weird to talk about, right? And it's like, this is all nature. This is what we have. It's not this, I don't know, whatever. It is what it is. We have genitals. We have creative, like life-giving centers. So we don't want to stagnate that energy either, right? So if we do some of the practices of drawing up and in, pushing down and out, and then also just finding some freedom. So you're just letting your guts and your organs have some squishing around. All right, let's flip over onto hands and knees. Curl your toes under, arching and curling. So in the arch, toes curl under, open, reach out through your butt. Exhale, scoop up and in, hollow. Again, another opportunity, reach down and out, radiate away from center, both in the upper and the lower, and then scoop it up and in, drawing in and up. Energy radiates away from center. Energy scoops up into your back. Radiating outward and scooping in. Opening it up and coming in. And let's come into neutral. And let's just do free flow spinal movement. Again, we'll use that kind of swishy, swashy theta breath with a sha, and whatever is coming out of your mouth is great. There isn't a right or wrong, just to find some more freedom in the relationship of our arms into our body, the relationship of our legs into our body, and then the relationship of our spine, head, tail. So it's this coming into body, legs and arms, and just feeling what that feels like as you shift your weight around, giving your spine some freedom and adding the sound. So deep breath in or deep breath out. So you can take a deep breath in and then evening yourself out. Let's do a head, tail, side to side, like the dog's wagging its tail, but your head is going also. So head, tail, side, side movement. See if you can find some flow in that. So there's fluidity. It's not just awkward. Whatever that means to you. And then come in, take one leg out behind you, and we're going to make circles behind you. So the circles can be maybe soccer ball to beach ball sized, not super big, but not super small. And then flex your foot and change direction. Normally I do these a lot smaller, but let's feel how this feels going bigger. And then change legs, other leg out, pointed toes. Flex and change direction. Feel the relationship of your arms adjusting your weight as your leg is moving. And then come in, take it into a child's pose. Let your head drop down. Maybe turn your head from side to side. Yeah, so I think since we started this class with this idea of energy, that the idea isn't necessarily to build energy if we end up having too much energy, it can be hard for our systems, right? Like we want things to happen slowly, that we start to release some of the patterning, we start to shift it. If it all happens too quickly, it becomes very destabilizing for us. Humans need this slow change to happen in order to be able to keep up with it. I've been saying, like, if things are happening really fast in your body or your consciousness, it's either medication, recreational drugs, or an injury, right? So when we want things to happen slowly, we want our body to have time to adjust. Coming to elbows and knees and free up the spine. Feel the relationship of your head to your tail, shift it around in different ways. What does it feel like if I do this? What does it feel like if I do that? And then let's play with straightening one elbow and then straightening the other elbow and still being in that play. Not too insane, right? Just take it as easy as feels good to you. And even yourself out. And let's come all the way down onto our bellies on the mat. Oh, this is what we're going to do. We're going to come onto our Sphinx position with our toes curled under in the back, and we're just going to lift up, pushing forward and backward a couple times. Head reaching forward, heels reaching back, and then pelvis down. And let's push, arch, and open, and slowly take it back down. Curl your toes under, lift up. Let's go side to side this time, shifting from side to side. Take it down, arch, and lift. Take it all the way down to the ground. Curl your toes under, push. My knees are relaxed into the floor. My toes are doing this push. Relax your shoulders, relax your head, relax your neck, relax your jaw, relax everything. Relax your pelvis, maybe add a little side wiggling. And then bend your knees, let your legs fall from side to side. Breathe. Let's bend one leg, grabbing in, heeling towards your butt. You can also do this on your side if that feels better in your body. So either here or on your side, stretching your quad. If you don't feel a quad stretch, lift your knee a little bit, but make sure your pubic bone is connected to the floor. So if you're like this, you're like, I don't feel a quad stretch. Like, yeah, because you're not stretching your quad. So connect your pelvis down, pick it up if you need to. Breathe into it. When you're ready, pop it up into a half bow pose, radiating out. The other leg is up and off the floor. Breathe. And release. Other side, heel into your butt. Quad stretch, knee off the floor if you need to. I've always feel better, like with a little bit of wiggling, a little bit of micro movement in my stretch. Not bouncing, but just moving around a little bit. Not always, but 90% of the time, I don't like just sitting in a static stretch. I need to move a little bit inside of it. So up to you. Opposite arm and leg come up. We go half bow, radiate away from center. Breathe. And release it down. Let's arch all the way up. Round your spine. Take it into your child's pose. Arms are going to go out in front of you. You're going to walk your fingers as far away as you can. And then push down to the floor. This is going to squish up my mat, but push into the floor and draw your shoulders down your back. Going to push it out. Walk it out. Shoulders come up to your ears, and then push down into the floor and pull back. retracting your shoulder blades. Relax down, walk it out. And then draw down. And last one. Walk it out, walk it out, walk it out. Engaging your lats, shoulder blades coming down, all the little subscapular muscles. And then reach it out, roll it up, and just look from side to side. Relax the back. Let's just do light finger tapping, back of the neck, back of the head, very gentle, maybe even the shoulders. Like little raindrops, very light and gentle on the back of your neck, maybe shoulders, as you turn from side to side. Relaxing your tongue, relaxing your jaw, maybe just getting in there with a little of this. Just really gentle, unless it feels good to go deep, but just see how your tissue responds to really light, gentle touch. Just little fingers on the skin, surface of the water. Sometimes just going very light on the surface can have a really deep result because you can actually relax, right? You're not having to fight against what's going on with your hand. So very gentle, very soft, just on the surface, if that feels good. If you feel like, oh no, I got to really get in there, then do that. Letting this go up, letting the 10 little monkeys have a run through the jungle. Yeah, sometimes like big things are accomplished with really small changes or small, gentle ways of dealing with our body, as opposed to, I like them all. I do like all, I like that too. And I do a lot of that too, but I feel like this type of class for me is a really recuperative class so that I can do all my other crazy hard things. All right, open it up into a big straddle. We're going to bend one knee, draw towards it, and then reach it out and point your toes. Move into the light so you can see my foot. You're going to bend the other knee. Wait, how's this go? Bend, and then reach and point. Bend, reach and point. Bend, reach and point. Bend, reach and point. Getting some nice spinal movement. Reach and point, fold it in, reach and point. I usually try not to wear dark colors on the black mat, but oops, it's really gray, not black. All right, taking it forward, we're gonna flex, arch, come as far forward as feels comfortable, and then point, hollow, and curl, roll it back up. Flexing your feet, taking it down, point, scoop, roll up. Feel like your back and your feet are both doing this, and your legs can come a little closer together in that curl. Flex, we're radiating away from center, feet are arching, back and feet, both doing the same type of thing. And then point and curl, 2 more like that. Arch, open, 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 point and curl. Last one, arch, open, 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 and point and curl. Let's take it straight to the side, reaching it out, breathe into it. If you can grab on, if that feels good, go for it. If your butt's popping off the floor here, then bring that hip back down. And then come up over to the other side. Breathing. And come up, we'll turn and face the leg, taking it down. And push the floor away over to the other side. So when we're stretching, like you want to be a little bit warm. You don't want to like start stretching cold. You want to have moved a little bit so that there's a tissue prep, there's a natural hydration through movement happening, and then maybe even doing more muscular work and then stretching. Some people are like, well, how long should you stretch? Should it be 15 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute? And the answer is yes, however long you feel like you need to stretch. Sometimes people overdo it and then the tissue gets freaked out and like does a rebound or tears a little bit. And sometimes people don't give themselves enough time to get into it. So you just got to listen into how long it feels right for you. And it may be different on a different day. Knees and ankles flex in. You're going to turn onto your side and reach it out. Knees and ankles in, reach and point. Knees and ankles in, reach and point. Knees and ankles in. This could be here. We could be doing it like that, or here and here. It doesn't matter how much of a split you're getting into. You're massaging through and you're getting that extension through here, right? Let your pelvis go forward as much as it can. And if you can do the full split, go for it. Go ahead and move through that if that feels good. Speaking back of these movement people that I follow on Instagram, and it's it's a lot of dudes that are coming from fitness and they're working on their flexibility. And I'm like, sometimes it's a great idea. And sometimes I'm like, this is insane. But hey, it's all, how do we learn about anything? By feeling into it. All right, let's come onto our backs again. Press up, open up. We're just going to pull forward and backward. Let that massage through your shoulders. You can take your arms up internally and externally rotate, letting your scapula move on your back. So this is kind of getting in, for me, this is like a pretty good upper traps massage. And as I'm moving under it, I can also take my time and go slower and feel into it more with that internal rotation, external rotation, which is shifting the musculature and bone and fascia relationship inside my body as I'm also shifting where the weight is going. So it's like double layered massage for my body from the inside and the outside. Then I could also just shift my hips a little bit, getting in there, breathing into it. And then coming around, and we're gonna finish it off with just some hip stretching. Can you tell I have a little crick in my neck? That's why we're doing all of this stuff. Yeah, not enough sleep, dancing, partying, all the activities takes a little bit of a toll. So that's why we're doing all that extra stuff. Let's do this one, ankle to knee pose. You can always straighten your bottom leg or fold it under, whatever feels good to you. Take it down, breathe, micro move or not. Breathe deep down into your pelvis, or imagine you're breathing deep down. So whole torso, getting the movement of the breath, maybe even all the way down into your legs. And then coming up, unscrambling, giving a little bang, rotate in and out. Let the tissue come back to a neutral so it's not either stretched or engaged, but loose and easy, and switch it to the other side. And when I'm talking about the tissue, what am I talking about? I am talking about all the soft tissue of your body, which is your fascia, tendons, ligaments, muscles, organs, all of that stuff, soft tissue. So you want to let the soft tissue be soft. It's not called hard tissue. It's called soft tissue because it's supposed to be soft. Well, and when I say like ligaments are kind of hard, and tendons are kind of hard, but they're not like bone hard. Relax, let go. They're more like rubbery, like like a rubber ball, like a kind of hard rubber ball. And then come up, unscramble, give it a bang, rotate in and out. Yeah, so everything in our body is alive, right? I mean, except for maybe like our hair and our nails, but they're closely connected to us. And so when we have something that's alive in our body, it has tremendous resilience and capacity to also heal, right? We're not just, I think a lot of people have the model of like, as we get older, this shuts down and that shuts down and this shuts down. And that's not the way that I choose to live my life. I'm like, okay, what can I do to be more present with my own health? Party, just kidding. Dance, just kidding. Do the things that you love to do, but also Make sure that you're hydrating, that you're taking morning walks or whatever it is, breathing, breathwork practice, meditation, hot training, cold training, all that stuff is great. Eating food that's good for you, being with people that you like to be with, right? It's all the things. Working in some kind of non-toxic environment, if that's possible. Then come in, roll it up. So every part of your life, is going to affect the health of your whole system. Inhale, open, and how you feel about things is going to affect it, right? So if we're feeling bitter and angry, that's all crusting inside ourselves. Shake it out, let it go. Reaching up. At the same time, say the things you need to say, right? Let your truth be known. It's hard to be a person in the world. And yet, what a great gift to be here. And then take your arms forward and just spiral, look around behind you. I can see the pea pod in her tower. She's so cute. And then coming back in, inhale, open it up. Inspiration, transcendence, gratitude. Exhale, coming down, grounding our energy, coming down to earth. Inhale, open, and exhale, landing, settling, releasing. Inhale, filling up. Exhale, letting go. One more time. Inhale, fill it up, and exhale, let it go. All right, people in TV land, if you are there, if you've been there, no, there's no one there right now. But if you see this on the replay, like, subscribe, share, do all the things. Watch it 6 times. Do the same workout more than once and see how it affects your body differently on a different day.